Lawyers, colorman judges. Bitch, get your ass in this conversation real quick, okay? Now let's watch this video. Grab you hold of dinner and grab some tea. Sweet tea. And drink some iced coffee, okay? Okay. Let's watch now.
Of Virginia, where Attorney General Pam Bondi just confirmed the FBI executed a search warrant at the home of a Washington Post journalist. Bondi says the journalist was, quote, obtaining and reporting classified and illegally leaked information from the Pentagon contractor, who she adds is currently behind bars. Hannah Natanson, who covers the federal workforce, was at her home when the search was executed. The Post says she has been part of the publication's most high-profile and sensitive coverage during the first year of the second Trump administration. Lisa, what do you make of Bondi's comments on this investigation, this search warrant? Just how unusual is all of this?
Well, it's incredibly unusual. Let's start with the fact that in April of last year, Pam Bondi rescinded a Department of Justice policy that was promulgated by then Attorney General Merrick Garland during the Biden administration.
But let's switch gears a bit, because I want to discuss something that I honestly think is one of the most concerning and constitutionally alarming events of the Trump presidency. There are formal impeachment articles filed in the United States House of Representatives, and they specifically accuse the president of using his powers and platform to incite violence against members of Congress and to threaten the independence of the federal judiciary.
You remember that Trump threatened Congress? Now, what shipment of emotions are you really not understanding? Here we have a lot of people in the community of color feeling that you're not dedication to discrimination towards his final ending of himself in the White House and in prison. Think about other citizens who made a shipment and went to prison. Now look at Donald Trump's argument of him just walking around doing terrorist stuff to the community of color. Mad and anxious because I and you are cutting back on that bullshit he was trying to say to us as a running mate. We're trying to understand more and discover more tributes. Here we go, watch more. Let's see. Drink you some tea, bitch.
These aren't just vague political slingshots being thrown around on cable news. We're talking about official constitutional documents that lay out, in disturbing detail, a pattern of behavior that suggests a severe abuse of presidential power, one that some lawmakers claim is so dangerous.
So, calculate that emotional response. Abuse of power. So you really are going to start with me today. Black letter 4,300. So where are we going to see justice prevalence onto Donald J. Trump? So, just think about that every day. That's what other citizens are feeling. When will he go to prison? And many Republican Party also too. That's how you change the shiftment of his motivation. Trying to think cruel treatment of mentality towards us citizens. Now drink you some tea, bitch. Let's explore more in this conversation.
It calls for his removal from office through impeachment. On December 10th, 2025, Representative Al Green from Texas officially filed House Resolution 939 to impeach Donald Trump. The language in that resolution, along with the allegations and presidential statements it highlights, is genuinely shocking. Even by the extraordinary standards we've seen during this presidency, which has stretched the limits of what's deemed acceptable presidential talk further than any other administration in recent history.
In place of that policy, she put in a new policy to make it easier for the Department of Justice to conduct searches of journalists' home and offices when the Department of Justice is conducting a leak investigation. She essentially said that this Department of Justice would not tolerate the leaks of classified information.
So they were able to, DOJ, get the search warrant because they put in the warrant affidavit that this reporter, in her home, in her devices, her phone and laptop, there's evidence that of a crime that was committed. That's how the search warrant was able to be obtained by the federal magistrate. And this tweet makes it clear that she is being accused.
There's an impeachment resolution with two main articles against Trump. The first article accuses him of inciting violence against Congress members by calling for the execution of 6 sitting Democratic lawmakers who have military or intelligence backgrounds. It's crucial to pay attention.
This message right here is the federal crime. This is fast-paced procedure imprisonment.
Pay attention to the specific wording used here. According to the resolution, Trump posted on social media that the actions of these named Democratic representatives were seditious and deserving of death. He even shared a message that said, "Hang them, George Washington would." So here we have the...
George Washington would hang citizens? Now, and what brought it to justice is slavery. Hold on, I need you to hold on. Watch this message go somewhere. Colorman lawyers, colorman judges, lawyers, judges, lawyers in the Supreme Court room, lawyers, judges. Okay, drink y'all some tea, please. Now let's watch more.
The President of the United States publicly calling for the execution of current Congress members, claiming that their political conduct amounts to a capital offense. He amplified a call for them to be hanged, and that's what he put out for millions of his followers to see and possibly act on. The second...
So you do understand the capital punishment to think of any such remark of slavery as a crime? It is. So, in what steps are you trying to describe slavery towards us? Trump not being in prison? Republican Party wants to try to infringe chaotic syndrome? Vince in the White House cries because he thought I wasn't that strong source with conversations to mediate arguments. Watch this video. Let's see what you could think. Thank you.